Hi guys, welcome back to New Dram Drinker. We have another whiskey review for you now. I think if we didn't have a whiskey review for you, you're on the wrong channel, aren't you? So
why would we be here?
Or we're on the wrong channel if we're not reviewing whiskey. This one is a good one for us because it was one that we weren't expecting while we were doing our shopping the other day. And you know, when you kind of we look at the shelves in the, you know, where we go shopping every kind of time we go, and you always see the same ones. And as soon as there's a different one on there, you kind of lock onto it. It's kind of like something a bit special. And this time, it just so happened to be one that really caught our fancy, didn't it? And it's an unusual one to kind of find, I would say, in a shopping, you know, in a shopping mall in America all of a sudden. But you know,
on the shelves in the supermarket. We've not seen it before, have we?
Yeah, because you don't tend, from what I've seen in Morrison's, where we do our shopping, a lot of kind of peated whiskies. I imagine it's quite a hard sell to your average kind of whiskey consumer who'd be buying stuff off the shelf. So I was quite surprised by it, and I thought, we need to be trying this. So we bought it. The other amazing part about it was the price. It was £22.50, which is crazy. So let's get it. Show you what it is to start with, which you've already seen at the start of the video, so you kind of know. But a Loch Lomond on the shelf, £22.50, and it is a peated whiskey, and it is just, well, we'll get to that because me and Nick have got a bit of differing tastes.
I'm not saying anything yet.
I think you'll probably know where I'm going with this already if you know what our tastes are like. But the on the front it says floral and smoky. Yeah. So we kind of thought that it might be in Nicola's ballpark of where she is with enjoying peat at the moment. And we'll tell you whether it actually is or not in a minute. So we're going to get on with it now.
What are your thoughts on dark bottles? Like where you can't see the whiskey in?
I like them until they start getting down low, and then when you don't know how much is left in the bottle. But I do like it. I like the gold. I like the black. I like the shape of it. I like the green, to be honest. To start with, I was a bit, because it's in a tube on the shelf. I know some people have said they've got it and it doesn't come in the tube, so just keep your eye out for this tube or the bottle. At first thought, I mean, the green stands out on the shelf quite a lot, and that's what caught my eye when I was walking up the aisle. And I was like, what's that? I don't recognise that green on the shelf, and it was this. And yeah, I quite like the green and the black. I think the bottle and the tube are nice design. So yeah, what do you think?
I don't have a preference. I just wondered what your thoughts were, because obviously you don't get black bottles very often.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few, isn't there? We've got a few, but I just wondered what people's preference were. Like you said, you can't see how much whiskey is in there. You
usually find me when you get into the bottle. I've gone up to the light, so I'm like, how much is in there? I can't tell how much is in there. But it's, I don't mind it. It's something different on the shelf, and it looks quite elegant. I think it looks nice. Looks more expensive than £22.50, that's for sure. Yes. So should we get on to what you think of it? As ever, we've got a couple of coins adorning the tops of our glasses. I'll do yours first.
So mine is a very unique one. Oh, the light is shining. Yeah. It's literally resin with it's like a piece of paper inside, which I love, and that's Heart of England Whiskey Alliance.
Yeah. If you're a member of them, I think Mark was giving them out to members at one of the last meetups. I presume he may have some more, so if you are a member and you want one, maybe get in touch with him if you've got any left. I'm sure he'll pass one on to you. And mine was from Whiskey Johnny, and he's a friend of ours. I think these are relatively new coins. I don't think many people have got them yet. Not too sure how he's going to be distributing them, so maybe get in touch with him if you follow him on his social media and things like that, or if you're one of our members and you want one.
If you're one of our certified originals and in the Discord, you will know who Whiskey Johnny is. He's very active.
Get in touch with him through our Discord, and I'm sure he'll try and sort you out if he can. On to the whiskey. I could smell this while I was just talking about the coins, and it was really wafting over me as I was trying to talk in. So
it smells absolutely divine.
There's a fruitiness straight away, which kind of you can smell. As I was doing the coins, I could smell the kind of the peat and the smoke, but there's definitely a fruitiness that kind of comes off.
It says floral and smoky, but I definitely think it's fruity and smoky. I wouldn't say it's
floral.
Not sweet and it's not light. It's like, I'm going to say like heavy blackberries, black currants,
I
or
was going to
plums
say
or
that,
something.
There's a black currant note to it.
It's it's fruity, but it's not sweet fruit at all.
It's quite a complex nose.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
And it feels heavy in flavour. Obviously that's the peat smoke, isn't it?
Yeah.
But which is predominantly there. But it does smell absolutely delicious.
It nose is quite thick.
Yeah.
If that makes
Heavy,
sense.
I think.
Yeah, it makes you feel like it's going to be quite a hefty whiskey. And to be honest, we have tried it already, and it is. But I like that because I was expecting...
Don't start talking about what it tastes like yet.
I'm not going to, but I was expecting... I always go back to that it's a supermarket bottle.
Yes.
And I always expect them to be kind of playing it safe a little bit more.
And because it said floral and smoky, I was expecting smoky. It's not smoky, it's peat smoke. If there's smoke, it is peated, 100%.
I haven't had many, if any, whiskies that I've bought off a supermarket shelf that have challenged me. And this is fairly challenging. Not challenging in a bad way, but it's just something that I have these whiskies that are classed as end of the night whiskies. They're usually peated. There's something strong going on with them. It's just a last drink of the night just to see myself off before I go to bed. None of those are usually the supermarket whiskies. It's usually the ones that are a little bit more expensive, or the exclusive ones, or it's just this is one of them, to be honest. So
it smells lovely.
I think we need to go into the palate, and then we'll see whether Nicola's notes are the same as they were when she tried it the other day, or whether maybe...
So remember that I said
notes,
the nose is divine.
It still is. So let's go in on the palate and see what we think. Oh.
I'm so hesitant to do this.
That is nice, Instantly, there's like a burnt... Sounds weird, but it's like a burnt smoke. Like a really... As if you've left something on the barbecue for too long and maybe it's the coals are burning up. Like if you have... You have that burger that slips through the grill onto the coals and it just like frizzles or frazzles while you're cooking everything else, and you get that kind of the burnt meat smell. It's like that in the palate. But there's also the fruitiness is there, which I'm sure Nick is probably going to have trouble saying she can pick up. But it's such a nice dram. Go on, I'm going to let you go because I think your interpretation of it is probably more interesting than mine.
So remember that I said the nose is divine. This is such a hefty whiskey. I find this really hard to drink. I do. It's like it's like frazzle crisps to me, not actual meat. And it's like chewing a piece of burnt wood that's been mixed with damp earth, grass, peat. I do not get fruit at all. I am not getting anything sweet or floral. I found it really hard to drink earlier in the week, and I just thought it was neck pour, and and even when I'm sipping it, the nose is still divine. When I'm sipping it, I get all of that lovely fruitiness.
Yeah.
But this is a huge whiskey for me.
Yeah.
I find it, and I want to like it.
And I think you will eventually.
I think there's no balance for me for what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the fruit, the sweet and the peat.
I think this is definitely one of those whiskies that kind of...
It's a challenge for me. When you said I don't get whiskies on the supermarket shelf, that challenged me. I was like, I'm going to disagree with you there.
I would say this kind of draws a line in the sand for you as to where you are on your peated whiskey journey, because I think that it's such a strong peated whiskey. But then to me that's the positive, because like sometimes if I really want a really strong whiskey, a peated whiskey, and I haven't got one, I can't usually just go to Morrison's and pick one up for myself. It's like you've got to order one online, or you've got to go to a shop and get one. I can go to Morrison's now and get something that will give me the same experience as an Ardbeg potentially would, if that's kind of what I want, like that heavy peated kind of whiskey that night. And I enjoy that. I like the fact that I can literally go and pick up a peated whiskey, a heavily peated whiskey, I would say.
Yes.
In my shopping.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've been able to do that before.
To me, it is heavily peated.
Yeah. I mean, there might be others on the shelf that are this heavily peated, but I've not found them yet, or it's not one I've tried yet. But this is probably going to be on my shelf.
I just had a second sip, and I'm getting soap.
Okay.
You know, like that soapy, soapy.
Soap on a rope.
Just soap, yeah.
There is a bit that, to be honest. Yeah, you do that quite a lot. You pick up the notes and then I get them.
Yeah.
There's almost
like a soapiness.
I've just had like a bit of a tingle.
Did you?
On the tongue, nowhere else. Just it's good whiskey. It's not that good. I really do like this.
I know. I'm not saying it's an awful whiskey. I'm not.
No,
it's just because the nose is delicious.
Yeah.
I just know this is too big for me.
But the best part about it is it's
the best part about it is you will get to drink it all.
£22.50.
Yes, it was a good
so
try.
It's not even like it cost a fortune to find out that. And I do genuinely enjoy this, and I think that you will eventually.
Yeah, maybe.
You're just not quite there yet.
No, I'm not.
So I think £22.50 is worth a punt, isn't it? It's worth just giving a go. You know, if even if you're not quite there yet, just leave it on the back of the shelf for a bit. Yeah. And just come back to it. That's what we did at the start of our journey. Just kind of tried them, didn't like them, put them to the back, came back to them down the line, loved them, and you carry on from there. And it keeps on. That keeps on happening. For you, it's a bit too much. Yeah. For me,
I'll tell you what I'm not getting.
Brilliant.
Isn't it? Is this 46% or something? I think it was 46.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm not getting.
46.
I'm not getting spirit burn at all. I'm not getting spiciness. I'm not getting any of that fire or spirit. So that's a real positive. I'm guessing that would make it easy to drink if you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's got all of those deeper flavours. You know, like they are hefty. It's the ash and it is like chewing burnt wood to me. There's that ash. And there is the frazzles, but like the crisps, that's what I'm getting. And the soapiness, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's vanilla.
That's more on the finish.
Because I think as well, they say, I think I read on the back of the tube, it said something about vanilla. I wonder if that's what I'm getting. I
would say the only note in this that I'm not that keen on is there's a slight artificial note coming through, and I think that's what's making my tongue tingle. It almost feels. It doesn't feel like a spice or a pepper or anything like that. It almost feels like an artificial chemical kind of. Not in a bad way. It's just the note I'm picking up on that I don't like the most out of them all. But I think it's a cracking dram, to be honest. There's a lot of info on the tube, to be honest, and I'm not going to go through it now, but I'll bring it up in a pop-up so you can read it at your leisure, because there is quite a lot of info. And it's stuff that you'll probably want to read rather than hear me waffle on and read out. So I'll just bring it up in a pop-up now, and you can have a read of that if you want to. But yeah, overall, what I'm going to ask you what your highlights are, because I think there is some for you with it. Yes,
I think I'm going to say it's a very good whiskey. Just because it's not to my taste. Yeah. Like it's not a whiskey that's got no flavour or is watery or anything like that. It is a very hefty whiskey. The nose is absolutely delicious.
I would say the nose for you is the highlight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gorgeous. Yeah. I just know I'm not ready to drink whiskey like this. But there was no alcohol burn, so it was very easy to drink. Smooth, like very rich, very complex. There was an awful lot of flavours in there. So it's not me. I wouldn't be choosing to drink that purely because it's just too much for me personally.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to backtrack a little bit before I give you on my highlights. We didn't show you the colour of it because we're under the impression it's coloured because it doesn't say anywhere on the tube or the bottle that it isn't, but it does say that it's non-chill filtered. Usually it means to me if they're going to tell you the one, it means they're leaving out the other one for a reason.
Maybe, but we didn't look.
Because why not? You would just put, not coloured as well, wouldn't you? So to me, that tells me that it's got. Might be wrong, but that's what them leaving it off the bottle tells me that it is. For me, the highlights, as I've said earlier, accessibility to it,
Yeah.
price,
Yeah.
and the fact that it's a heavily peated whiskey that I can get whenever I want. Now, hopefully it's on the shelf all the while, because it is kind of linked in to the Open. It's the official spirit of the Open, if you can see that.
And I
So
quite
I'm hoping
like
it's
that.
not only around for that.
I quite like that some of the Morrisons are almost, their range is becoming wider, you know.
There's a few.
You can get a
coming in now,
Bunnahabhain now, and you know we've always been able to get.
I think you can get there now.
You know, some of the Douglas Lane are there as well. So I quite like that, and they're keeping it relatively price, you know, comparisons. You know, they're not doing £100 whiskies and things like
I'd
that.
say, talking about that, saying the smokehead, that's probably going to be the closest you can get to a peated whiskey. I think this is probably stronger than that for me, because you can drink smokehead, can't you? So I think this is probably a little bit
It
stronger.
was just a
than
really pleasant surprise, and
it is nice, isn't it? You can see
well,
it.
just that it was there. Yeah, it was really good. So
you can see them
it was
coming
a
along.
thumbs up from us.
Just shows that whiskey's growing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're starting to see more people
And like you
wanting
said,
these
more
brands,
accessible.
and that is what brings more whiskies into the or onto the shelves. You know, the more we buy it, the more that I'll get.
Yeah.
So that's lovely to see. It means our community is expanding into other areas as well. So
what would your highlight be?
like I said, the accessibility of it, price of it, the fact that it's a peated whiskey that I can get
It's a good
just
one.
going shopping. Like I said, I hope it's one that's on the shelf constantly, not just for a certain period of time because of a sporting event, shall we say. So yeah, awesome. I really like this. Yeah, I'm going to be having more bottles on the shelf.
Lovely.
And if it is like a timed exclusive or something for the Open, perhaps I need to be getting some more bottles quickly before it disappears.
Stock up.
So that's something. Maybe you'll just see a load of these along the back of the shelf soon. Because
Is that your excuse?
For £22.50, you can't go wrong, can you? Really? So
Fabulous.
that's it. Thank you for watching. As ever, if you aren't a subscriber yet. We had quite a few subscribers recently. I don't know whether it was because we pleaded with you on the last video to subscribe. Please subscribe. It's just really nice when we get the subscribers, because it just means that we're doing something right. It means you're enjoying our videos, and it just makes us feel good, to be honest, to know that. So just click that subscribe button and the like button, and that's all we ask of you. So thank you for watching, and we will see you again.